So it's the middle of the night, and my family is asleep. I have allergies right now, and I'm going to sound like shit. This is totally going to be unscripted, but I think it's a perfect time to talk to you guys, because there's a lot to say. What's up, guys? Think Weaver here, and I got some stuff to say about the channel. I have a few updates, and also just a disclaimer, I'm not reading a script. I'm going to sound like shit. And really, because I have an allergy, I'm going to sound even more shitty, because I have a stuffy nose, and it's not going to sound so well. But, I can explain why I sound pretty okay right now. Got a burp there. I burped again. God damn hot dogs. Anyway, it's midnight over here, and I just ate so I can stay up and talk to you guys. The first thing I want to talk about, Patreon. I just burped again. Sorry. Patreon. I want to thank you guys from the bottoms of my heart, because for those of you who supported me on Patreon, I was able to help, like, everything that goes in Patreon goes right back to the channel for better quality sound, which is what you're hearing now, except for the fact that I have allergies and I'm not, reading off a script or any fucking thing like that. And I have a new keyboard, which I should probably post this shit on, like, my Facebook page or my Twitter, so you guys actually see what I'm getting for this channel. I'm putting everything back into the channel, and this is, it's my dream to be a big time YouTuber. This is what I'm doing, and I want to thank you guys out there in Patreon land for helping me and supporting me. I love you guys, and I'm definitely going to keep at it the best of my abilities. So it's a big thank you and shout out to everybody who's supporting me in Patreon. And again, if you guys want to help me out with that as well, of course the link is in the description. I ask no more and no less than like a dollar, but some of you guys go out of your way to give me more, but thank you so much. Other than that, let's go on to what's happening with the channel. What's really going on here is that I have not been playing Final Fantasy XIV. I've been playing another game that came out, and you guys probably already know. It came out, maybe a good few weeks ago, and Dark Souls 3, basically. I've been playing Dark Souls 3, and it made me realize what I actually want for this channel. And first off, I'm not a Dark Souls fan, and I'm just going to say this real quick. This is my first real Dark Souls game. I will actually have like a certain thing going on with Dark Souls. I'm going to talk about it on my channel, but that's later on when I talk about what that is specifically. But because of Dark Souls, I got more into the story, into lore and history on what the world is in Dark Souls. I wanted to find out more. I wanted to dive into it more, which led me into thinking I really do want to talk about the story of video games, and that's what I want to talk about in terms of like lore. See, Final Fantasy, I dove into it talking about the lore of things. Like back in the past, I did like Final Fantasy XI versus Final Fantasy XIV, which was a shitty video. But then I started talking about the lore, and then I guess that's when people started, looking at me saying like, "Oh, you know this shit about Final Fantasy XI?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And I want to talk about it, and that's what I'm going to do with 14. More than I'm going to do with guides. Don't worry, I am practicing being a healer, so that video will eventually come out, but don't think it'll come out too soon. But yes, I want to talk more about lores in Final Fantasy XIV, and not just 14, but all the other Final Fantasies out there that I can find. Also, not just 14, but games that are connected to it, and just games in general that has really deep stories to them. I want to talk about video game stories. My sister is not asleep yet, and it's fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. Go to sleep. Sorry about that. Yeah, I want to talk about stories in video games, and that's my passion. That's what Dark Souls brought out of me. Now, don't worry, Final Fantasy is still going to be Final Fantasy, but it's going to be its own little bubble. It's going to be its own thing. You'll see Final Fantasy. I'll put in the intro to Final Fantasy when I'm talking about Final Fantasy. I can't really say, like, it's going to be a guide thing or a lore thing anymore, because it's Final Fantasy. It's pretty much the basis of my channel, so it's going to have its own little thing. It's own, like, whether it's a guide or a lore, if it's Final Fantasy, it's just the subject of Final Fantasy. No longer is it going to be like, oh, this is a Final Fantasy something guide, or I'm talking about this lore of Final Fantasy 14. No, it's going to be, oh, this is subject of Final Fantasy 14, and it just so happens to be a lore video or a guide video, or maybe I talk about like a monster or a class, which, yes, I'm going to be starting to, talk about the legendary monsters in 14, along with the classes now. Other than that, yeah, I want to dive into the lores of video games. So I'm gonna have it's gonna have its own little section on my channel. It's gonna be just lores and shit like that, video game lore, but I'm just gonna call it lore. And whenever you see like a logo like this, I will be talking about the lore of a certain video game. Of course, if it's Final Fantasy, I'll put this somewhere in the corner of somewhere, along with, the intro of Final Fantasy, or whatever subject I want to talk about Final Fantasy, if it just so happens to be a lore video. Other than that, I want to talk about game guide. Now, there's probably not going to be a lot of game guides on this channel anymore. Don't have a lot to talk about that. Like, I can't give you a guide on Dark Souls, ever, because personally, I think I suck at the game. I'm not good at the game. I die a lot. Well, everybody dies. I'm not so good at Dark Souls. I'm not the best at any video game. I'm kind of like the jack of all trades. You can give me any fighting game and I can become good at it, but I won't be like pro level at it. The only pro level game, or game I'm pro level at, is probably Smash Brothers, and even still, I don't think I can even contend with the top players. Point is, I don't think there's going to be a lot of guides on this channel. Not anymore, unless you guys have suggestions. But yeah, guides are going to be so far and in between that there was going to be a segment, a little bit of a thing for guides. I even made a logo for them, and I think it's just pointless now, because I'm not going to be talking about so much with guides rather than, more lores. So that was going to be a thing. Now it's not. Well, we'll see. It depends on what happens in the future. Alright, moving on from that, there's also going to be a new thing that I'm going to be talking about, and it's going to be called First Week. Now, First Week is honestly what I wanted to do, because First Week is going to be about a game that I played in its first week. And we all see games all the time where we get it the first day and we're all fucking excited for 4 days, or maybe even 5 days. Now, me, my attention span on a video game is very short. I can get very cynical and very judgmental with any video game that I play. And that's why I made this little segment, this little show called First Week, because as fast as I can play a game and get into it, I can get as bored and as like, I really don't want to finish this real quick. That doesn't make it a bad thing. It just puts my eyes and my judgment in kind of a critical view on this video game. Now, when I want to keep playing that video game, that's when I say it's a success. I want to share my story with it, or if I don't have that kind of feeling, I will let you guys know, and that's what this segment is all about. First Week is my first week on any video game that I get into, and at the end of that segment, at the end of that video, I will let you guys know whether it's worth it. Just keep playing the game. Is it worth even playing it at all if I complete it in that week? And it's very possible. I do it all the time. Or if it's longer than a week, should you keep going? You know what I'm saying? But it's not like it's going to end there neither, because after First Week, if I really like the game, I'm also going to have a segment after that, and it's not really so major, but it's going to be called Last Week, and it's not like it's going to be the last time I play the game. Basically, Last Week means that it's the final week until at that point where I actually finish or complete the game, and I give you a full aftermath of, it was really fun playing this game, and I'll give you my opinion, and it's not really going to be a review, but my time playing the game from beginning to finish, and that's what the last week really is. That's what last week is all about. Now, I don't have a logo for last week, and I don't think I'll be as energetic enough to make a logo and show you on the screen. I'm probably just going to show you what the first week of logo is going to look like, and I do apologize. I'm probably going to do it some other time when I don't feel like being lazy. So I'm going to do that. When I guess, I don't know. I don't even know if there's a game out there that Dark Souls is a game that I definitely want to finish. So I guess that gives me a reason to make the logo for the last week shit. And if I'm not lazy, if I wasn't lazy enough to just skip out on that, it's probably on the screen right now. Hey, who fucking knows? Anyway, I guess that's it. I don't have much else to say. Again, unscripted, sounded like shit. Totally sorry. But because of you guys with the Patreon, I probably do sound a bit better because the equipment I got helped me with like my sound, with my setup, and with my confidence. I'm really shooting for the top here, and it's not easy because the algorithm for YouTube fucking sucks. It's bad. It's really bad. I've been watching tons of videos and reading tons of articles on how YouTube's algorithm is just fucking shit, and I've recently just couldn't find some of the subscriptions I've been watching that, so far and in between gives me a video. I mean, I think I remember one time that JonTron didn't show up and he posted a video, and I'm like, why the fuck didn't it show me his video? Apparently I was unsubscribed. I don't even know how that happened. Why would I unsubscribe from JonTron? Like, who the fuck would unsubscribe from JonTron? Seriously. And I had no idea why that happened. Apparently, YouTube does this thing where it goes through, like, oh, you're not watching them, so we're gonna unsubscribe him from your feed. But, they'll give you feeds for other dumb shit, like Prank Nation or The Ellen Show, that I don't watch. YouTube needs to fix their algorithm. They need to fix a lot of things, and I hope they just do an overhaul on that. But, those are my personal feelings. So, yeah, what do you guys think of what's happening on the channel? How do you think me doing guides less is a shitty idea? Should I just be sniped for that? Honestly, that's the way it is. Do you think the lores are gonna pull off? I mean, that was the first thing I've ever done on this channel that was super fucking serious, was a lore video on Final Fantasy XI, and Dark Souls essentially brought and resurfaced that love back, and I can't thank Dark Souls enough. But at the same time, fuck Dark Souls 3, because it's kicking my ass and it's raping me all over. The butt hurts I have all day. And what do you guys think, not only for the lores, but also for this first week thing that I'm about to do? I honestly generally made this channel so that I can review games, but because my attention span is like that of an insect, I can't really review a game to its fullest. I'm not the completionist, but at the same time, I can give you an opinion of what my first week was like, and if it's worth playing that certain or whatever game I put up there. So yeah, those are the updates. Thanks for listening, and if you guys want to support me in any kind of way that doesn't involve anything provocative, because I don't need you coming over to my house and giving me a massage, quote unquote, but Patreon sounds nice. So subscribing sounds nice too, and even liking and sharing the video sounds pretty nice. I'd rather have that than you coming over to my house and massaging my shoulders. Even though that would probably feel great. Just know that I'm perfectly okay with you subscribing, liking, and sharing my videos, and also going over to my Patreon and supporting me. That's also something I would love. Although, that massage is actually something that sounds great right about now. I probably should go and get myself a massage right now. I'll do that, and you guys go ahead and check out my channel. Do I even have a masseuse in this area? Philadelphia fucking sucks. My sister seems to be awake right now. And it's midnight. And she's in the bathroom. Perfectly great. Is she taking a shower? Are you kidding me? Well, okay, well, I guess fuck me.